Record to the cloud. Awesome. I have muted everybody. I hope you guys are all doing great. Welcome to our BSP call. So I'm going to get started here in just a second, but what we're going to be talking about for the first 10 or 15 minutes is how to use your book to create authority and generate leads in a networking environment, if that's something that you do. So why don't I go ahead and get started with the Facebook Live, and let's hope that it is going to work. All right. Hey, my Facebook Live looks like it is working, and I'm on my BSP University call, and that's being recorded. So here's the deal for the next few minutes, 10 minutes or so. I want to talk to you about how you can use your best-selling book to generate leads and authority in a networking environment. Now, that's given that you do those types of things. Now, it has been said that your network is directly related to your net worth. So even if you generate a ton of leads like we do online and have clients all over the world like we do, see, Facebook just killed on me, then you still, I would assume, want to do some type of networking as well. I do that here in the Pasadena and Los Angeles area because there are some fantastic businesses and wonderful CEOs and executives here, and I want to get to know those people. So when you want to get to know them, though, it's a little awkward, right? If you're just going to come out and say, hey, I'm the best-selling author of such and such, and try to, not sound salesy to let people know that you have a book. So you've got to work your way around it. And in networking in general, there's ways to do it that make you come across as a goofball, and there's ways to do it that really make you come across as an authority. And my assumption is you want to come across as an authority. You want to attract the right kind of people. You want to make a difference in your networking. So I'm going to give you some groundwork first on the networking thing itself, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. And then I'm going to talk about how you can kind of move your book right in there to the networking thing too, okay? So when it comes to networking in an environment where there are the right people, let me kill this here. I'm going to delete that. There we go. Okay, because it only recorded, stupid technology only recorded the first 30 seconds or something anyway. So if I'm in an environment where, let's say I'm with a bunch of CEOs or I'm with a bunch of people that I really want to get to know, and maybe even a lot of them know each other, they don't know who I am, they don't know me, I need to create the right frame, right? I want them to be interested in it for, some of the things that I've done that maybe they haven't even heard of, like books I've written, etc. And you can't just come out and say that, well, I'm an author and blah, 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 blah. You can, but there's a better way to do it. I'm going to share that better way. So if I'm in an environment where, let's say, I don't want to network and I don't want to talk to people, and you may be in an environment like that sometimes, maybe it's at a party or whatever, and you're like, this is really not the kind of group that, I just don't feel like it. So if someone asks me, well, Rob, what do you do? And I'm in an environment where I don't want to have a discussion about what I do, then I'll say something like, I'm a publisher. And immediately they think they know what a publisher is. And so because of that, they'll say something like, oh, great. Okay, cool. And then I'll say, well, what do you do? And we'll talk about football or UCLA or whatever, right? There's something like that for you right now. And that may even be the way that you are describing your business right now, which just kills the conversation. If you're a coach or a consultant and, they ask you, well, what do you do? Doug, what do you do? I'm a consultant. They're going to go, oh, great, right? It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't lead to anything meaningful. If, on the other hand, just like me answering, I'm a publisher. On the other hand, if I want to get into a conversation with somebody and I'm in a networking environment, and these are people that I want to get to know and these are people that I want to meet, then here's my script. And this is the script that, in my opinion, you should follow if you want to both work your book in and create networking that's really powerful and create some authority around that. So if someone says to me at a group that I really want to have a conversation and create that, lead generation authority, then I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say, when they ask, well, what do you do, Rob? I'm going to say something along the lines of, well, I help entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, whoever that is I'm speaking to, I'm going to try to fit their occupation in, right? If it's a brick and mortar business owner, if it's a financial advisor, I'm going to say, I help brick and mortar business owners, financial advisors, and coaches to create meaningful celebrity and attract an endless stream of new customers, PR, and opportunities. Now, if somebody hears that, if you hear that, I help people to create meaningful celebrity that then attracts to them leads, new customers, etc. What is your natural reaction? Your natural reaction is, well, how do you do that? Right? If I say I'm a publisher, they immediately think they know what a publisher is. And oh, okay, I got it. You're a publisher. You work with books. I got it. No big deal. But if I talk about something like meaningful celebrity, which they've never heard that term probably before, and then how that meaningful celebrity drives leads and opportunities and press, et cetera, for people, they immediately want to go, well, how do you do that? So when they ask me, well, how do you do that? Now we've created a conversation, right? There's a genuine curiosity around what I do. I'm then going to look for a way to work my book in. And here's how I do that. I say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, and I'll explain to you how that might work for somebody in your profession, right? So now, we're rolling somewhere now because they're thinking, okay. So they say, well, I'm a financial advisor. Great. So tell me, how do you attract clients right now as a financial advisor? And what are some things you would like to do to attract your best clients? They may say, well, I go to networking meetings like this to attract clients. And, what I'd really love is I'd love to use social media more to attract clients. I say, fantastic, great. So now I've learned a little bit about their pain, right? Their problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my book. I'm going to say, okay, well, here's the thing. So as I've said, we help financial advisors, coaches, consultants to create meaningful celebrity using a book that then attracts clients and opportunities and PR and et cetera. So now I've written several books, and that exact problem that you're wondering about is something that I discuss in my book, $1 Million Author. And what I talk about is I talk about one of my past clients who was a financial advisor who was having the exact same challenges that you were. And what we did is we created a book, we launched it to bestseller, then we got him on radio, TV, etc., and then showed him how he can begin using that book to generate the ideal leads for his clients. I break down the entire case study in the book. I go into great detail on it. They may ask a question. They may say, oh, that's really interesting. So, what specifically did you do? Whatever. And here's what I would say. I would say something like, look, hey, would you like a copy of it? I'd be happy to send you a free copy of it. And I'll point out exactly where in the book you can determine that. And see, at a networking meeting like this, where you're meeting someone for the first time, what is the likelihood that that person is going to go from having a discussion with you as a perfect stranger to writing you a giant check the same day? It's not going to happen, right? And so don't look for it to happen. Slow down the sales process. Dan Kennedy talks about that. If you're selling something big like a 25 or 30K package like I am, then slow down the process because you're not going to close that deal with a perfect stranger on the first day. So how do I slow it down? Well, I tell a story. I create the curiosity. I help them to know that they're the exact kind of person that I help to do the thing that they want to do, which is overcome the pain of not having regular leads and attracting and growing their business the way they would like to attract and grow their business. And then I say, I can send you a copy of my book for free. What does that do? Well, that positions me, first of all, as an expert, the best-selling author on the topic that helps them to meet whatever need it is that they're faced with. It also slows down the process enough to let them know that, hey, I'm not chasing you, okay? We got a frame here going on where I'm the expert. I'm the prize here, right? You are the expert. You're the prize in your business. If you make the customer the prize, then you're always going to be the one chasing the customer. We don't want that. So we need to reframe it so the customer is chasing me. Even though we've done this in a networking environment, because of the way this is framed right from the get-go, this person now wants me. And if they don't want me, they don't want me. It's not a big deal. But if it's someone that I can help, and I've pointed that out in my best-selling book, you know, I've notated a case study in my book, and now I've sent them a copy of my book with a little sticky note right on the front that says, hey, Doug, great meeting you at, Provisors this past week. Here's a copy of a book that I was telling you about. It's on page 77 where I talk about the example that's really similar to you. Hey, give me a call back or shoot me an email and let me know, after you read it, what your thoughts are. Just really simple like that. It totally frames you as the prize. It totally frames your business as something that can help you. And it frames you as the authority and the expert without you going around and shaking hands saying, hey, I'm an author. Would you like my book? Now it's like you're begging people to take your book. You don't want to do that. So everything that I've described to you lays out a way that you can get your book into people's hands that you're meeting for the very first time in a way that still makes you the prize in this, that still makes your business the attraction. Now, there are a couple of caveats in this. Number one, if you've written your book and you don't have case studies in your book of people that you've helped that have various problems, then guess what? You have an issue, okay? Because when you have that conversation, you're not going to be able to point back to a case study that you discussed in your book if you didn't discuss one in your book. So that's why we tell all of our clients that your book needs to be set up in such a way that you have story, right? Like client case study, testimonial, somebody that you helped, right? Then you have the open loop, the main points that you want to get across, just like a great TED Talk. And then the culmination of the story, which is where you come in and you heroically help them to increase their business or whatever it is that you did, whatever magic you added into their business. You should be thinking through in your business book now, we're talking about a business book, you should be thinking through, okay, what are the big problems and the big challenges? Of course, if you're doing a book on your expertise, then you're going to speak about all the big problems or big challenges, right, that your reader wants answers to. So in each one of them, you have got to have elements of case study and story and example of how you help people to overcome those issues and those challenges. And now you have like this, this amazing tool that is filled with examples of how you have successfully overcome challenges and help people now in every conversation you have with the right people, right? Whoever it is that you help. If you're not in a networking environment with people that you help, then tell them, that you're a baker, right? Who cares? You don't want to have a conversation about your thing anyway because you can't help them, right? So just have fun. Talk about football. Talk about whatever you enjoy, your wife, kids, life, sailing, surfing, whatever you do, golf for me. But if you're in an environment where you're in an environment with your ideal customer, these are people that you can help. They have problems that you can help them overcome. Then you need to use the format that I just gave. Remember, you need a way to introduce yourself that isn't like they get it, right? A way that creates curiosity rather than saying, I am a consultant, I am a coach, I am a speaker, I am an author. They immediately go, oh, I know what that is, no big deal. And the conversation ends. It's a conversation killer. So you need a way to introduce yourself that creates curiosity, right? And begins to allow you to explain what it is you do. For me, it's this whole conversation around meaningful celebrity, okay? And then how we help our clients attain meaningful celebrity that attracts to them customers, clients, opportunities, PR, etc. And then they go, that sounds so cool. And I'm telling you, I do this a lot in networking, and it's always, wow, that's so cool. How do you do that? And then I go into okay, well, tell me about you. Tell me about your problems. And then I'll show you how we've done it for people just like you, because we've worked with over 300 different authors, different professions, categories, etc. Does that make sense? I hope that's helpful to you guys. I know that some of you do network, and I still do, although it's really minuscule because most of our clients, I do it for different reasons than to attract clients. I do it because I'm looking to build relationships with like-minded people here locally, and I think that's really cool. But I still get clients out of these groups. So it actually, pays me to go to these places and build relationships with really, really cool people that are amazing. And you can have networking groups like that too, whether you need to network for your business or just want to, like I do. Remember, my primary business is still using our books, using our ads, generating leads for, my sales, author development coaches in that room. They're on the phone all day, every day, 9 to 5 with appointments that are booked out for them and bringing on clients. That's how I want my business to run. But when it comes to networking, I still want to, with some people, with the right people, have a meaningful conversation. So I hope that's really helpful. Let me go ahead to Q&A now. Questions about anything that you want to ask. All this is being recorded, by the way, so don't worry about any of that. Bunch of you guys on the line today. Now, look, I gave you a business example, by the way. Some of you are fiction authors. Some of you, various other kinds of authors. Some of you maybe even, own publishing or related businesses. You can apply this stuff to you. I gave you an example, a real life example for me and how I do it. You just have to be creative and creatively find a way. If it's children's books you write, then you have to creatively find a way to describe that. If you say, well, I write children's books, okay, bam, conversation's over. I know what you do. But if you say something more creative, then that leads into the conversation, and it gives someone an opportunity to, engage with you, be a part of your platform, buy your next book, et cetera, et cetera. So everything I've described to you, if you interact with other human beings, and you do, is going to be applicable. You just have to find the right fit to it. So let me go ahead and answer some questions, whether it's about the content that I shared today or anything else. So Rita says, where is the download for media, newspapers like the Miami Herald? I can't find it anywhere, and I know I saw it on the list. Downloaded the entire university, was taken off. So Rita, I don't know exactly what you're asking. If you're asking for specific media like the Miami Herald, we may not have that list. We don't have every single specific media in BSPU. What we've done is we've listed out the top 100 TV stations and the top, I think it's 1,000 radio stations. And that's a PDF document that is yours as a part of, for current customers in BSP University. So otherwise, if you're looking for something specific like the Miami Herald, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to, either A, buy a really expensive software, which you don't want to do that, like Cision, that's what we use, or B, just Google search it. Look for the right people in the right departments at the Miami Herald so that you can connect with them via email, telephone, etc. You said feedback from people was hard to download the ebook. It's very frustrating. Am I supposed to get email confirmations from the 30 websites? So there's a couple of different questions, I think, here. So I'm not sure what you mean by feedback from people that what the ebook was hard to download means, because if you have your ebook on Kindle, then Kindle does all of that for you. And of course, that's what we recommend. So maybe it was hard for you to download into Kindle. And also, are you supposed to get email confirmations? You get email confirmations from a lot of them, but not necessarily all of them. So some will give you email confirmations for the advertising, and some will not give you email confirmations. So do me a favor, and if I didn't answer the question, go ahead and type it in again, or type in what specifically that you're asking, and I can answer that for you. Wendy says, hi, Rob, my book is free for a couple of days. Is it okay to post in the Facebook group? Not really, Wendy, simply because if you follow the guidelines of what to do when your book is free, you don't need to post it in a group of 300, best-selling authors, because, if you do what we say, you do the press releases, you go to the other groups that have literally hundreds of thousands of members, you do the free and paid advertising, then, the free book in our group is not going to make any difference. So that's not going to help to shoot you. Our few hundred people in our private group isn't going to shoot you up. So what I do recommend, though, in our private group is not posting when it's free, but instead look to engage with other people in our group and do review exchanges. So if if your book is in the review phase, the soft launch phase, then you can post in the group that, hey, I would love to get any of you to review my book, and I will gladly purchase and review your book as well, and we'll do a review exchange, a swap. I am totally great with that. That's really more valuable than just posting that the book is free for people to download. So use the group, but use it in the right way, which is review exchanges, feedback, asking questions, getting your questions answered, that kind of thing. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And I want you, and you said thank you, you're very welcome. I want you to post in the group. I want your feedback in the group. But for the free book, you only have a few hundred people in there. You're better off just following the steps. And there are groups that we post in that have hundreds of thousands of members. In fact, I own 2 groups with almost 50,000 members total. And those are groups not called Bestseller Publishing. They're just author groups. So you'll want to post in all of those places. And Wendy says, I meant to ask for reviews. Then yes. Yes, please post that you want reviews. Have it during the soft launch phase. So have it at listed at 99 cents. That way they're Amazon verified reviews. And make sure that when someone else is asking for a review, do a review exchange and say you're willing to do that, so others can jump in and say, yes, I'll review your book, you review mine, etc. Because we want as much activity like that as possible within the group. Cool. Rita says, I got 11 reviews in 6 days, went on to the promo and set it up. And that's great. 11 reviews in 6 days is terrific. Don't stop there, though. Keep going with the reviews. You want to get as many reviews as possible. It says you bought additional paid websites. That's good. What does USA Today for $100 mean? Paid website. I bought a package, but they had a button for USA Today and other single media. Why? I don't really know what that is, Rita. I'm not aware of a USA Today package for $100. Is that something that you searched and you found in doing a search on USA Today? I'm personally not aware of it. I would beware of something for $100. Most of the advertising and marketing is less than 100 that we recommend because they're individual websites. Maybe USA Today is now offering some traction for 100. If that's the case, I tell you what you can do, Rita, is you can put the link in the group or message me the link, and I'll test it out first. I'll grab one of my clients' books. We do this all the time. I'll grab one of my books and I'll spend my money to see if it works before I recommend you spending your money to see if it works. So if you guys have something that you're wondering if it'll work and it's not crazy, or, if it's something that I think is legitimate, then I'll test that with my own money, because I'm always looking for new things that work for our clients. And of course, I pass on that information to you, and it's valuable to everybody. So Rita, I'd probably suggest just send me the link to that, and I'll check it out for you. And if I think it's something that's legitimate, then I'll spend my own money and see if it works. And if it does, I'll tell everybody. So love that. Linda says, where do we find the TV and radio stations you just mentioned? It is in the members area of Bestseller Publishing University. It should be under something like PR. It might be under the module for PR, which I think is module 4 So it may be all listed under there, but we have training, we have segment proposal examples, we have scripts, booking scripts, templates, everything, and a list of the top 100 and top 1,000 stations for you guys. So all that is there for you. Let's see. Rita says, so if the promo is free, how does it count as verified reviews? So if the promo is free, it doesn't count as Amazon verified reviews. That's why I always recommend that you get your reviews during the 99-cent phase of your soft launch. That's when Amazon considers it a verified review because someone's actually, buying it. Now, anybody can review your book. You can mail your book to someone that never went on Amazon to get your book, either free or paid, and ask them to do a review, and Amazon will allow them to do a review. But Amazon weights the verified reviews higher. So during this period of time, we say, look, it's 99 cents. It's not a big deal for someone to spend that much money on a digital version. Have them go ahead and buy it at 99 cents and then review it. And then you got an Amazon verified review. Get as many of those as possible during your soft launch period. Rita's also asking, I saw in the paid website ebook that I bought that I can contact them and ask what was that. Okay, so this was, I guess, an outside source, this USA Today thing. So ask them about it. If you want to send the link on to me for me to, take a look at it and see, whether or not it's something, worthwhile, and even test it with my own money, then I'll do that too. Anything that you guys come across, because look, you're in this day to day, just like I am. And 2 heads or 20 or 300 are a lot better than one. So if you come across something that you think is valuable, send me a link. Let me take a look at it. Steve and I will review it. And if it's something that we think, hey, let's throw some money at it and let's test it so we can add it to our repertoire and teach our clients on it and use it for our clients, then hey, we're all for that. Rita says, you said the second day of the promo, look for the bestseller. That's the promo after the soft launch, Rita. So you have the soft launch, which is your review phase. That's when you want to get your Amazon verified reviews. Then you do the hard launch, which is the 5-day promo period of your book. Day 1, you're going to have press releases and pay and free advertising go out. You're going to do social media. And if you do it the way we outline, then on day 1, you're going to get enough promo downloads to where you're going to shoot up to #1 in multiple categories and in multiple countries, like all my clients do. So day 2, you're going to start taking screenshots. You're going to search, on your book page itself. Like, let me give you an example of what that looks like. I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can all see that. So let me go to Amazon right now. And I was looking at one of our clients' books that we're launching right now, which is right here, Harris Rules. We're launching this for them right now. You can see they have 63 5-star reviews. That's just rocking. And currently this book is #3 in buying and selling homes, #4 in mentoring and coaching, and #5 mentoring and coaching in business life. So if I click on one of these right now, one of these elements, then you can see it is the #1 hot new release. So if I click on that, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. If I click on this, see more, then now it shows this Harris Rules book as the #1 new release in all of buying and selling homes. How cool is that? With 62 5-star reviews, right? So I would take a screenshot of this. Let me go back. It also shows #3, not just in new releases, but #3 in all buying and selling homes. Okay, so it still has some work to do to climb up past #1 and #2. It actually was #1 last week. So, some of the advertising is worn off and now it's just #3, but it's still doing fantastic, as you can see. So I'll go back here and I just clicked on that one. Now I'll click on this one and you can see if I go to see more, it is the #2 hot new release in business mentoring and coaching. Okay, and that's all of business mentoring and coaching. So I would take a screenshot of that. I show it as #4 here as well in all of business mentoring and coaching. So see what I'm doing there? I'm basically just going to the middle of the page right there where it has product details, okay? Bestseller Publishing, you can see our launch date 3 weeks ago. And now it's showing, in all the top categories. Now, remember, Tim and Julie were #1 in multiple categories last week and the week before. But this is something that you'll want to keep an eye on. So, with your book on day 1, day 2, day 3, continue to look through here and go through the various categories by just clicking on them, going to it, looking at where it might be the hot new release, see more, that kind of thing. That's how you're going to be able to see and determine how well your book has done. So hopefully that makes sense. She says, okay, I thought they had to be verified reviews. Well, again, reviews are different than downloads. Reviews are different than the launch itself. Those are both those things. Like the Harrises have gotten thousands of downloads of their book, and they've only gotten 62 5-star reviews. But 62 reviews is fantastic, and this is just after 3 weeks. So we're trying to get this to 100+ reviews. They have a good-sized list and audience. So you want to keep getting reviews of your book, but that's different than downloads, because you may have 500 people download your book and never offer you a review. So those are two completely separate and different things. And yes, you want to screenshot that information because you want to use it in the future. You want to always prove it, and obviously it's cool. You can have those screenshots on your website like we do, or you can have it if you're advertising the book. Maybe you're doing a free plus shipping funnel. You'll want to show various comments that people made about your book, reviews that people left. You want to show how many reviews. You want to screenshot all that stuff to use it as collateral to show how well the book is done, and that the book's done well because you're an authority, because you've done well. That's the idea. So hopefully that is helpful and makes a lot of sense. What else you guys have for me? You got 25 of you on, and we've covered, I think, some pretty cool stuff. What else can I answer for you? Because at the moment, I don't have any other questions to answer. And so happy to go. I got an appointment this afternoon out of the office, which is a little bit unusual for me, but cool. So if you guys have other questions, then please take a minute and type them in now. If not, then we will reconvene next week. We'll be doing another BSP University next week, and then I go to Hawaii for a conference on Wednesday. So looks like we're good. Thanks so much, everybody, for being on. All this has been recorded, so it'll be in the members area. Anytime that you're doing any kind of networking, I would say refer back to this and think in terms you want to, if you're networking with the right people, your ideal clients, you want to create, your own little way to create curiosity with those people. And you do that best by talking about what you do for people, like my Meaningful Celebrity. I don't publish books. You can find anybody to publish books. I help people create meaningful celebrity with their book, etc. So think in those terms in your networking, and then ask the questions and get people to be interested in your solutions. You can then send them the book, and you start them down the path to writing big checks to you, new clients that you can help. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great day and an awesome week, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.